in 1983 in Lansing, Michigan. She is the senior lecturer of entrepreneurial management at Harvard Business School. She's also the co-host of The Limit Does Not Exist, a podcast that captures careers and is produced by iHeartRadio. But before Christina became these, she was just a young girl with a dream. Growing up, she had always had a flair for technology. This flair evolved into a longing for a way to intersect computer science and science. Growing up, she did a lot of odd jobs to support herself through her education. She started earning a living at a young age doing various odd jobs. In school, she was very successful and had no form of failure, and she was always tops in her class, graduating with the best grades. She started Quincy Apparel, a clothing line that aimed at changing or revolutionizing what women wear to work. At the start of the company, a lot of consumers gravitated towards it, and all was rosy for Christina. She was, however, unprepared for the failure that followed. There were so many issues with the production of her clothes and the personnel, as well as the entire process. These issues strained the company. This resulted in failure as the company could no longer keep its head above the waters. When the company failed, Christina was taken aback. She saw no reason to continue and all seemed impracticable. It became far-fetched for her to conceive any other idea of hers panning out. But Christina decided that she was meant for more in life and pulled herself up, snapping out of her depression. She told herself to be strong and confident enough to face life's challenges. She began to search for a job after the failure of her company. Soon, she was absorbed into a startup institute in New York. At startup, she was introduced to an entrepreneurial mindset and received a lot of training in high-impact entrepreneurship. She developed the confidence and the necessary skills to start again. She soon became the founding director of BridgeUp, STEM program of the American Museum of Natural History in New York City. The program was soon awarded a grant of $7.5 million from the former Cosmopolitan editor-in-chief, Helen Gully Brown. This grant was given in order to teach girls and minorities computer sciences. Christina always said that embracing her failures was more important in her life and by extension her career than her success. She thought of her experiences as an example of how popular consumer success can be a recipe for abundant failure when the appropriate operational process aren't instituted. She employed her experience with failure as her guide in teaching the startup community and has guided a lot of people in achieving their goals and dreams. Presently, she regularly speaks and consults on a wide range of topics ranging from failure and resilience to innovation. Refinery 29 has named her one of the most powerful women in New York City. She has been profiled in reputable magazines such as Elle, Marie Claire, Fast Company, and a lot more. In life, the failure of one project could be a signal that we should move on to greater things. Only people who are marked for failure dwell on a failed venture at the expense of their future. We should be able to know when to pick ourselves up and move on, as succumbing to that discouragement not to try anything else after an initial failure could be the end of our chance at success. Amitan said, "No one in my entire family was a reader of literary fiction, but I didn't have the discouragement because I don't think anyone knew what it meant." So, despite being in an environment that discourages you, or a situation where a business endeavor becomes a complete flop, one should never give up on nursing ambitions. James Whitcomb Riley said, "The most essential factor is persistence and determination never to allow your energy or enthusiasm to be dampened by the discouragement that must inevitably come." Neil Maxwell said, "Discouragement is not the absence of adequacy, but the absence of courage." Christina Wallace experienced great setback when her business failed, but instead of dwelling on her failure and casting blame, she moved on to accomplish greater things. Stop dwelling on your failures. Move on to greater things.